So hi to
Oh,
both
look
of you.
at see?
There's people on there.
All right.
We have 3 waiting. You have 2. So
I don't have a
5
fancy thing right
people.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
come on,
count
Brian.
down. Look at us. What a bunch of buffoons. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to our live stream tonight, Sunday night, which was a poor choice, I think,
Sunday night. I don't know. We'll see.
but that's okay. We are here with Dan from Guys Being Dudes 716, and he is also streaming on Instagram. So
That I
hello
am.
everybody on Instagram.
That I am.
Awesome.
This is cool.
Feeling good today?
You know
yeah.
what? The
Are
Bills
you
got a
riding the
nice
high?
win. So
Bills
yeah.
win. Yeah.
Much better than last
Absolutely.
week. My secondary team did not win. The Lions lost in overtime, so
No.
that was kind of hard. But
That's a mistake having your Lions as your secondary team.
you know what? I'm a
That's
glutton for
what I'll say.
punishment.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah,
a Mets
right?
fan. I'm a Lions fan. We
But at
know the
least-
Sabres.
At least you get to watch a game that means something every Thanksgiving.
Well, that I do. We get one national game a year, so I'll take it.
Yeah.
You know,
You're guaranteed one.
I
Every
know
year,
I'm
so
going to
it's
get
fine.
one.
Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely. So yeah, Lauren and I have been filming today. It's
Yeah,
been
since just 2:00.
since 2:00.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we've it was a lot of filming.
It's been a day.
It's been a
It's
day.
fun.
Wow.
Absolutely. But so I know we let everybody know we've only got 8 in here, so hopefully we get some more people coming in. Cheers, Victor. We are going to be giving away this bottle, not bottles.
That'll oh boy.
Just this bottle of
Don't make promises you can't keep.
I cannot
Brian.
keep that promise. It's one bottle. Bottle of Russell's Reserve Single Barrel. And then Dan has brought some fantastic cigars. And before we get into that, we're just going to real quick kind of we want to get to know each other here. We
Yeah.
want
Mhm.
our followers to get to know each other as well. So we'll start with you, Dan. You're on Instagram.
Yeah.
Right. And your page is your account is Guys Being Dude 716.
Correct.
So tell us about what you do on Instagram.
I would be glad to do that.
Okay.
And for my people, this is a good refresher for you guys. You know what I mean? Because I haven't really talked a lot about what I've been doing lately. So basically, what happened was almost a year ago. I'm almost to my 1-year anniversary. I was just I wanted to do something with my hobbies.
Mhm.
I've always been big into cigars. I've always cared about fashion. I've always been into, well, not really always been into, but I'm getting into bourbon,
Mhm.
beers, etc. And just guy stuff. You know what I mean? Just general dude stuff. So
Yeah.
I was like, what do I want to do with that? So a few of my friends came down and we were sitting around downtown Brew one day,
Mhm.
just chatting about how you should just kind of go after things. So literally the next morning, I was sitting on the porch with a cup of coffee, a cigar, and a book, and I just said, all right, let's do it. So I took a picture of it, I posted it, and I said, here's my new page. And I did not have any plan. I didn't have a schedule, what I was going to post. I didn't know what I was going to post. I was just I have to start somewhere. So
Yeah.
I started there. And
Wait, you were smoking a cigar in the morning?
yeah,
A
coffee.
morning
So,
cigar?
okay, so
Tell us
fun
what
fact,
the delights of the
as
morning.
much as I love a good cigar bourbon
Mhm.
pairing, my favorite pairing is coffee and cigars.
Really?
No kidding.
I
would've
really
never
do.
thought.
I do. I love coffee and cigars because
Alright.
there's so many coffees in the world and there's so many different types of cigars that you can pair
Mhm.
together, and you pair a light tasting cigar with a light tasting coffee. And so
Okay.
it's a good way to start the day.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna
Not to
have
my wife
try
because
that.
I smell like smoke in the
Yeah.
morning. It's not great, but that's why you shower. That's
Yeah.
Right.
that's why showers were invented.
That's
so
right.
husbands don't get in trouble with
Just
their
for
wives.
the cigar smoke.
Just for the cigar part.
Yep.
So yeah, and then switching gears away from the cigars, I'm big into I said fashion.
Mhm.
And the thing that I'd say about it is it's so easy to do the littlest things to just make yourself look better.
Mhm.
I feel like you not to sound judgmental, but you see a lot of people just wearing tattered clothes or just
Yeah.
jeans with holes in them and
Or
ripping about them.
or
It's
pajamas.
or pajamas. Yeah. And it's I don't think it's a vain thing to care about how you look.
No,
Yeah.
no.
You know what I mean? And and even to the things where I see guys with just overgrown beard, necklines and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's not hard to fix that stuff.
And talk to my husband about that. Beard hair is up to here. It's up to his
Oh, we can't have that.
under his eyeballs.
Come
next
on,
next
Elliot.
live stream is going to be with him.
Yeah.
Come on, Elliot.
Let's make him over. How
There
about
we
that?
go.
I
Jeez.
like it.
It's a little
Okay.
off
Guys being
brand
dudes
for us, but
makeovers.
yeah.
A little
Like, no.
off-brand.
I love it.
Guys being dudes makeover, yeah.
I love it. So yeah, so I kind of went into that realm where it's
Mhm.
okay, let me see what I can do to help guys sort of just like find their look.
Yeah.
And it could be literally the smallest thing, or like I'm a big boot guy. I love boots.
Mhm.
So
Cowboy boots?
no,
That's
no,
what I
no,
thought.
no. I'm talking like rugged outdoorsy boots. There's a brand called Thursday Boots, and I've got 4 pairs of those at the moment.
Nice.
And a
Okay.
growing collection. But
Cool.
they're like $200, and that might seem like a lot, but they last like 8 years.
Mhm.
So little things like that are like it's almost like advice in a way. It's like
Yeah.
here's little things you can do
Yeah.
to make yourself. I mean, honestly, it's such a cliche, but look good, feel good,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. For
So-
sure. For sure.
and it all ties together.
I think I'll try that someday.
You're already doing
you're
it.
trimming
I
it.
did.
already
I,
had nice and
I
trim.
shaved today.
Yeah.
My wife told me before we came on, or well, this morning, she's like, "Oh, you better shave." I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
okay.
did.
You
I
have
did say
to.
too.
I-
But you are, and I notice everything, even down to your wedding ring.
"Yeah, oh yeah, that's
See, you
bourbon
got
barrel.
style right on there, bourbon barrel. See,
Mhm.
That is Old Forester Bourbon Barrel wedding ring. Right there,
Ooh.
yeah.
Yeah, that's very.
That-
yeah,
see,
you
that's-
got that recently too.
Anniversary.
Yeah,
Anniversary.
Ah,
yeah,
okay,
that's one
okay.
of my anniversary gifts.
I love that.
Along with a lot of bourbon in Kentucky. so.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
I love that.
All right.
So,
So,
yeah.
you're on Instagram. Everybody can go. YouTubers, YouTube folks, go over and give Dan a follow on Instagram. Guys Being Dude 716. 716, of course, because we're in the WNY,
That's correct.
Western New York. So it's always fun to collaborate with a local guy.
Yeah.
And so yeah. Oh, Shane from Storytime. Yes, Shane, I got the tracking number today. Thank you very much. I am very excited.
Me too.
You're a cool dude.
Mhm.
Yeah. Shane. So Shane's from
Mhm.
Storytime. I was
Yes,
telling you
yeah.
about telling Lauren and my wife about him earlier, or about you earlier. So that's awesome. Thank you so much, Shane. And you got to send me an address back because we'll send you some local stuff out to you. All right.
Okay, I think we should have a pour.
All right.
That's a good idea.
So let's start. We're going to start with actually what we're giving away. We're not drinking the bottle we're giving away. This is our own bottle. So you're not going to get like, you're not going to get a bottle with 3 pours taken out of it. All
Maybe
right.
more. We'll see.
But so Russell Single Barrel is from Wild Turkey, for if people are not aware. And Wild Turkey is one of the brands where when I started getting into bourbon, when we started this channel, it was always one that was like, that's some old man's drink. Like, like that's something my grandpa drank, or my great grandpa, Wild Turkey. Mostly I think
or
because
Matthew McConaughey.
yeah, well, Matthew McConaughey is, oh yeah, I know Matthew McConaughey, but like
He's getting pretty
honestly,
old.
I didn't think much of it because do you remember what'd you say, he's getting old? He is.
Oh,
He's a little beat. But anyway, remember in Christmas, I think it's Christmas Vacation, when he said so and so is in rehab getting cured of the wild turkey. I
oh
was
my god,
like,
I don't remember that at all.
yeah,
What? Don't. How old is he?
53
Oh,
years
he's,
old.
he's
Well-
post 50.
That's not old.
It's old.
It's not
It's
old.
50 is the new 30.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Honestly,
Mhm.
Come on. Did you see him though? Have you seen him?
He's
He doesn't look. Yeah, and he's greasy looking.
It's the hair
Have
thing
you
again.
seen the commercials?
See what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
Well, you know.
Mhm.
Very greasy.
so I'm
guy.
glad I cut
Yeah.
mine now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, I don't think I looked greasy, but
He's not in a time to kill shape anymore.
right. So before we forget about it, so
Yeah.
now that I've explained mine, so for my Instagram people that again, follow Bourbon School. They are on Instagram, but really YouTube is the place you got to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Check out Bourbon School; they're amazing. And I'm gonna let you guys talk a little bit about how you started and what you do.
So about a year ago, actually, we were
Mhm.
all having drinks. I mean, we had dinner and
Mhm.
drinks with a bunch of people. And Brian noticed that I like bourbon, and
Mhm.
he was like, "Hey, well, let's start a YouTube channel." And I was like, "Yeah, sure."
Just totally called my bluff, basically.
I was
yeah.
like, "Okay." And then we started texting, and he was like, "Okay, so I got this, this bottle. Let's do this. This is going to be the schedule. Blah
Yeah.
blah blah." And I was like, "Okay, we're doing it."
Yeah.
I did not think that you were gonna follow through.
She probably thought I
But
was drunk that night.
I
and,
did,
Yeah,
I
I
did.
was not.
So was it just
I
like the same
was.
thing where you just did it out of the blue?
yeah.
Yeah,
I was
completely
like,
out
let's
of the
start a
blue.
YouTube channel.
Yeah.
She was like, yup. And I was
I
like,
love it.
all right.
Yeah,
And that night we needed Bourbon School because we're both
we're
teachers,
both teachers, history teachers.
history
Yep.
teachers. Yeah.
Middle
And
school. We teach the
yep.
same stuff.
Mhm.
Oh, dang.
and it
Nice.
just kind of took off from there. And now less than a year later, we're having I'm
Yeah.
having fun.
I'm having fun.
Okay.
Exactly. I would hope
She
you're
looks,
having
she looks like she's being held hostage between the
I
two of us
know.
right now. No, but
I'm
it's
having a great time.
it's a good time. It's really a good
Good.
time.
That's awesome.
So yeah, we're having fun and it's growing at a decent pace. You know, like I say this all the time. You don't really have a frame of reference for how good you're doing,
Mm.
but we've had people say, "Oh, you're doing like you're growing pretty well." So and like I said, we're having fun,
Yeah.
and I
We
think
keep making cocktail videos that nobody watches.
yeah, nobody watched our cocktail videos,
Yeah.
but we enjoy the cocktails, so
As long
we're
as
gonna
they're good
keep making
cocktails.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and
Yeah.
from somebody like me who like I'm not an expert in anything that I cover. Like
Yeah.
I'm just like a hobby
Oh,
page.
yeah,
It's
no,
an
right.
influencer stuff,
Mhm.
but to learn from you guys is really cool
Yeah.
because like I don't know hardly
Well,
anything
what we
about bourbon, even though I
discover a
like
lot
it, you know. So
of the time is that we don't really know anything
Yeah.
either.
You're
good at
Especially when
making
we
it
do
then.
our blinds. Yeah,
you
we're
discover
like,
this
"What?"
every day
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
you don't know much about bourbon, but we have like but that's kind of when we started out. That was our deal. Like we
Yeah.
wanted to start out as like I my like watching whiskey tube channels, and none of them that are our friends because I think we're all kind of in the same kind of realm,
Mhm.
but there's some channels out there where they're talking to a level of bourbon drinker that we are not.
No, I'm not getting like hints of sassafras in my bourbon.
Yeah, right.
Who
So
invented the word
I just,
sassafras?
Yeah,
I
right.
just know if I like it or not.
like I'm not getting marzipan and shoe leather and
Mhm.
all that stuff. And if
Shoe
I did,
leather,
I'd probably
ooh.
spit
You're not
out.
doing it
Yeah,
right. Then.
Yeah,
Come on.
But like that was
That's
kind
so
of
funny,
one of
yeah.
our things is we wanted to start off as like, let's talk to people who are casual drinkers.
Yeah.
Because I think the majority of people are.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so like, let's talk to those people because I think there's a niche there that people aren't really talking to. So
Mhm.
that's kind of where we kind of aim it towards. So
Right.
we are 100% comfortable with saying there's stuff we don't know
Mhm.
and 100% comfortable being wrong about stuff.
Mm.
Or reversing like a
Yeah.
previous assessment
Absolutely.
of something. I do that all
Absolutely.
the time.
Yeah, I mean
How
that's true.
many
Yeah.
times the Four Roses is lost in a blind.
Yeah.
When we thought it, well, I thought I loved Four Roses, and it keeps
Yeah.
losing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, yeah,
Sad.
it's definitely it's been a fun experience. And I think one of the things that we've decided is like what we're doing is what we're gonna do. Like
Mhm.
we're not gonna try to be like another channel or
Yeah.
experts.
Yeah.
We're just like we're gonna be casual bourbon drinkers for as long
And
as we're
that's-
drinking bourbon.
That's
you know?
authentic.
Yeah,
That's what people
well,
love, you know.
I hope so. I
Yeah.
hope so. Yeah.
So are we all about to turn 1 year old? I
Yeah.
think we just realized that
Yeah.
because I'm gonna be 1 in October.
I think our first video was around December,
December?
right?
Yeah.
Because we did
Wow.
Yeah.
we did one of I love I think our second video was holiday.
Second
bottles.
video was holiday.
Yeah. So yeah, we definitely
okay.
were
Yeah,
December.
we're coming
yeah.
on a
Well,
year.
cheers to us.
So yeah, absolutely.
We
Cheers.
deserve our own
guys.
cheers for that one.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll do another holiday one, like holiday bottles to go
Absolutely.
get. And
I already know a bottle that I would put on the list.
really, I know
Yeah.
what it is.
You know?
Is it the one we tasted
Yeah.
today? Yes.
My cookies.
Oh, we're gonna yeah.
We're gonna do her cookies too.
Yep. We're gonna do Christmas
Mhm.
cookies with bourbon because my wife is a extraordinary baker.
She is.
And makes about a dozen different kinds of Christmas cookies.
Mhm.
So
And
we're
then
gonna do
I
that,
have to eat all of them.
So what you're saying is we need to do another live stream.
Mhm.
yeah,
around
absolutely.
with the
Yeah.
Can I
cookies.
come on?
Yeah,
I'll
that
come
would be
on.
good.
Yeah, you should.
Mhm.
No, you have to talk to us about the flavors.
Oh, I'll do that, and then I'll tell you what notes you should be taking.
Yeah. Give us the notes that we should taste in your chocolate balls.
Oh my god.
I love the way you love the way my ball.
But you can't just say chocolate.
wow.
You gotta say more than just chocolate.
You want me to say
Yeah.
chocolate?
Chocolate.
Mhm,
She's from
mhm.
Brooklyn, so she says chocolate.
Chocolates.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, Brian,
So-
who's in the chat? What's going on?
All right,
Anything
let's see.
interesting happening
We've got.
here? Oh,
we've-
yeah. We
Oh
forgot.
yeah. Oh yeah. Let's talk about that. You
All
want to
right,
do
yeah,
that? I'll look through the chat.
okay, so to be entered in to win the bourbon and or cigar, you have to comment DLB,
DLB, like
DLB.
Yeah.
Dan, Lauren, Brian.
And
That's
Lauren
it.
Bryan. So you're gonna comment DLB in the chat, and when you do that,
I'll enter you in.
you're gonna be
Yes.
entered onto the wheel of names.
With my people too.
And
Yes.
yeah, along
For
with
Yeah.
that-
Instagram,
all of-
everybody
yeah,
that
different
commented, you're on the wheel.
yeah, we got you on the
Instagram
wheel.
people
Yep.
are already on.
Yep.
They're in. They're in.
Yep, absolutely. Shredward's here. What's up, Shredward? We'll say hello to some of our people here. We said Shane from Storytime. Actually, we're gonna have a little Friday at Fred's in a little bit, Shane. Canadian Chris.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, cigar. It's their cigar blend. It's
Mm.
delightful. You've had it, right? We opened it on our
Friday or
1000th.
I need to have
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, we'll definitely.
Yeah, we'll have to
Yeah.
try that.
Alan Christensen. Hello, Dave Vogelsang. Dave, we did not get to the Found North flight today, but we will get there next time we film. Dave sent us a bunch of Found North whiskey,
Mm-hmm.
and it's super old. It's like 15, 16, 17 years old.
Really?
Yeah. So we're going to do
Wow.
a flight of those and kind of tell people what we think of it. William Hall, thanks for being here. Echoes in Eternity Bourbon. If we have any mods out there, you can drop that link. Echoes in Eternity is a great channel. Story time, of course. Hanging AZ, what's up? Hey now. And Canadian Chris, I think I already said.
Sugar Kitty.
Shredward, Sugar Kitty, hello. Bob Chesborough,
Of
what's
course.
up, Bob? Of course, Bob's always here. Bob is
I
tried
love
and
Bob.
true. Yep.
He's
Mhm.
delightful.
He's a great guy, great viewer. He's a great guy. Smoking Firewater, Major Zero. I did get your email. I was not ignoring it. Thank you for all the tips, and I definitely will get back to you on that. Scott Dill, DLB. Scott's in my fantasy football league.
How are you doing today so far? 'Cause
Terrible. That league,
I'm over
doing-
2 and both
I'm
leagues today.
I'm 0 for 2 in that league, and I'm looking like I'm going to be 1-1 in my other league. So
Yeah.
it's not going well. So guys, make sure that you comment DLB in the chat, and you're going to be entered in to win this bottle of Russell's single barrel and some cigars. So let's
That's right.
first talk about the Russells. We started a
Yeah,
little bit, but
yeah, and we got
we
off
can get
track.
to it. So the Russells is a single barrel. It's from Wild Turkey, and the Russell single barrels are 110 proof. And I will tell you, I have never had a bad one. What about you, Lauren?
Oh yeah, it's delicious. I mean, I always say that, but it's got enough spice on it
Mm-hmm.
that let me taste it again. It's just really, really good.
Yeah,
Feels good.
it's got a little
Really
bit of
good.
everything in it. I
Mhm.
think
This is the first
A
time I've
little
ever
bit
had
of
it, too.
sweetness, a little bit of smoke.
Mm-hmm. You definitely get some age in it. The wood, you
Yes.
get that flavor in it. I think it's a nice, it's a solid bourbon with lots of flavor. And in my I'm not a big cigar smoker, so
Right.
you can speak to this. But
Sure.
my idea was this is something that would stand up to a cigar, and
Mhm.
you'd get that flavor shining through, and with some of that like wood flavor and the
Mhm.
spice, it probably would complement a
think,
cigar. So
Like the two of us probably, because I occasionally will smoke a cigar,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
not too often. But like I think the impression, and I think we might be wrong here, is that you need a really strong bourbon to stand
Mhm.
up to a cigar, but that's not correct.
No, because
right?
I mean, it's like with any bourbon, how there's so many different, bleh. There's so many different flavor profiles. It's the same with cigars. You know,
Mhm.
there's
Okay.
mild cigars and there's really full-bodied cigars that even I don't like. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? But this is the first time I've ever had Russell's. I had never
Okay.
even tasted it
All
before.
right.
So
What
like,
do you think?
it's really good.
yeah,
Mhm.
So I mean, I've had Wild Turkey, of course.
sure.
And I always liked Wild Turkey. That was
Yeah.
kind of like a tried and true, like on
Yeah.
the bar at all time
Mhm.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's in like the Woodford category.
Right.
Like I got like a little bit of bite off of it,
Mhm.
but I
Definitely.
don't think it
proof.
was a bite that was necessarily like annoying. Like 'cause
No.
sometimes I'll have like a bourbon that leaves too much of like a sting almost.
Sure.
Right.
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
then your throat burns and not in a fun way.
Yeah.
And am
Yeah.
I correct in assuming is that like higher profiles do that to you?
Higher
like,
proof.
Higher
Higher
proof.
profile,
Yeah.
yeah, proof.
Yeah, like, and it depends. I've had some very so the Jack Daniel's single barrel proof is 130 or more. Like
Mm.
all the ones I've gotten 3, and they've all been around 130, but people get them up 134, 135, and that is a really high proof bourbon
Mhm.
that I do not find bites you really hard at all. It's super smooth, it's sweet, and it's really nice. Now I've had lesser proof bourbons that just like
Yeah.
punch you
It's-
in the face, and
Yeah.
not in a good way,
And
like
right.
you
And
said.
typically it's like the 2-year.
Yeah,
that really
yeah.
are
Okay,
like,
yeah.
Oh,
The
they're
stuff that's not
just-
really
yeah.
like didn't take time to
They don't
age.
take the
Yeah.
age.
So
Yeah,
there's no flavor to counterbalance that the
right.
bite to it.
And sometimes you'll just get a bourbon that, like, if it's a blend, and as opposed to a single barrel, the blenders just aren't. I won't say aren't good, but because that's something. Actually, it's something we've learned doing this. Is
Mhm.
I have gotten away from saying this is a bad bourbon or this
Yeah.
is terrible,
Mhm.
or it's like I don't like this
Right.
bourbon,
Mhm.
and that
Doesn't make
is
it bad, right?
because everybody's got a different palate, and there are plenty of bourbons that I like that people are like, oh god, that's terrible,
Right.
you know. So
Yeah.
it's just there. So a blender might not just hit your palate,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you know, for other people it does. So
Right.
it really is subjective. But I think Wild Turkey, I think in general their stuff is very it's a very
Consistent.
yes,
Mhm.
and it's a very like prototypical bourbon. Like it hits
Yeah.
all those classic bourbon notes.
Yes.
And the other thing I like about Wild Turkey is they have one mash bill. Like
Really?
all their bottles, it's a single mash bill. And it's just a matter of the age, the blending, if it's a single barrel or not.
Mhm.
You know, so I think it's really cool all the different things they do with that single mash bill. I think it's a cool company, and it's one that
Okay.
it's one of the ones I was when we did the bourbon note challenge. It was
Mhm.
one of the ones I would say I changed my
Yes.
opinion on
Mm.
because again, I thought it was like an old man's kind of,
Yeah.
you know, you grab Wild Turkey off shelf because it's $20 a bottle and whatever. But
Right.
I got a lot of respect for them. I really do enjoy their
Well,
bourbon.
for being my first time of having it, like
Yeah.
it hits hitting all the right notes.
Yeah.
For me, like I don't.
Chris has a nice question for the
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So
Okay. So we said I rarely smoke cigars. So do you pair a sweet cigar with a sweet bourbon and a spicy cigar with a spicy whiskey or rye?
Oh, great
So,
question.
like-
Good question. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a really good question. So, like, and again, disclaimer: I'm not by any means like a cigar expert.
Sure.
This is just my experiences.
Sure.
So, when you think of like nicotine and tobacco products, you know, when you have like a cigarette, there's all different chemicals and stuff mixed in, right?
Mhm.
Cigars is literally just tobacco leaves. Like this is all it is rolled up tobacco leaves and a little bit of like vegetable paste to keep it binded together. So what you're tasting, it's just the natural flavors of the tobacco.
Mhm.
So with that, you know, there's so many different, there's Dominican blends, there's Nicaraguan, you know, there, you name it. So a lot of it is just the natural flavors of your tobacco. And what you have to do is, I guess, sort of do the research, talk to cigar experts, and they'll kind of steer you in the right direction
Mhm.
because you might get a cigar that has a lot of sweetness. Like there's one of my favorite cigars is called Sin Compromiso. It's by Steve Saka. I absolutely love it. And it is like this chocolatey, it tastes almost like warm brownies in a way.
Mhm.
When I'm having that, I wouldn't want like a liquor with like a really strong bite after. I'd want something smooth
To
that would
complement
complement
then-
it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So to answer that question, then yeah, I mean it's just all about doing your research.
Mhm.
I mentioned with coffee earlier.
Yeah.
You know, I like to have a mild cigar with a mild coffee, but if it's a stronger cup of coffee, I'll have a strong cigar.
Right.
Mhm.
So it's just a matter of pairing it with whatever you're drinking.
And finding a balance, probably. Like
Exactly.
you don't want one overpowering the other. You want them
Exactly.
to play nice together.
Yeah. And there's so many people out there that do like tasting events,
Mhm.
and they specifically pick out a cigar to pair with a specific bottle of
Yeah.
liquor.
Yeah.
So people like, you know, there's people out there that really know how to do that. I'm learning how to do that.
Mhm.
But I think I've been pretty successful so far.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So okay, so when they're drying the tobacco leaves, does it matter how long they like lay out in the sun? Does that change the components of the tobacco leaves, like, the
aging,
sweetness?
like you
and-
would a
yeah,
bourbon age it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely an aging process. I mean, so there's something in the cigar industry that I learned from going to a shop once that they say when the wrapper gets yellow,
Mhm.
that's when you know you got a good cigar because it's been
Okay.
aged longer. I never knew
Oh,
that. I just learned that. And it's like a really
Okay.
cool
like
concept.
this wrapper.
Yeah, like the actual plastic
Mhm.
part because
Oh.
that means the tobacco has like
It's really
fermented
been in
almost
there
or
a while?
something. Yeah.
Awesome.
It's
Um,
cooking.
And I never knew that. Like I never knew that. But yeah, there's
You'd think the yellow packaging would be like, ew, this is bad.
right, but in this terms it's good.
Yeah. I think your gut reaction would be like, oh, that's
Yeah,
old. or
That's an
something.
old. Yeah, it's too old.
I mean, I've
Mhm.
had cigars like I did a pre-release party for the cigar in front of me actually. It's when we'll talk about this brand Roma Craft, but it's a Roma Craft cigar, and we did a pre-release party for it. And the advice I was given was, you know, it'll taste okay today, but put it in your humidor when you get home
Mhm.
and let it sit, and it'll taste even better later. So
Wow.
there is a definite aging
Okay.
component to it, like anything, you know,
Mhm.
like a fine
Okay,
wine.
I have a question. So, a big stogie, this is not the biggest stogie,
No,
Right.
but typically cannot handle, like, I can't smoke the whole cigar.
Yeah.
So, if I don't have a humidor, will I really lose a lot of the flavors of the cigar?
well, it depends on how long you're gonna let it sit.
Mhm.
If you have cigars that you know you're gonna want to smoke like in a few weeks, you can get away with it. But if like I've got cigars in my humidor that have been in there for over a year,
Okay.
and I wouldn't want to have that without storing it properly.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And a humidor doesn't have to be what you like these giant
No,
things.
yeah,
Mine's
yeah.
a
Mhm.
box.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
It's literally just a little box, and you just put a temperature gauge in it, and you don't really have to do much to it. You just have to season it
Mhm.
with distilled water,
Okay.
and just sort of make sure that your humidity is always at 70%.
Okay.
Okay.
So you check the gauge. If it's low, you just add a little more
Oh,
water.
I didn't know
So
that.
it's
That's
really
interesting.
not super complicated.
Okay.
But there is. It's like anything. No matter what, you want to take good care of your things. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like even I look at your bourbon, it's all nice and laid out.
Yeah.
You wouldn't put them in a box somewhere.
No.
No,
That's how I feel about cigars. I like having them out.
I
displayed
tried. I
and-
put something on the wrong shelf today. That was reprimanded.
Wow, you gotta be careful.
It is arranged by distillery. So
I don't have enough at home to do that.
Okay,
Yeah.
now do you
So, yeah.
notice a big difference between like and a really expensive cigar and something like I like from the gas station that you just grab?
Oh, gas station cigars. Oh, they just hurt me now. Thinking about like college and the amount of like Black and Wilds that
Yeah,
went
I know.
into
That's
me,
right.
it's
That's my
like,
cigar.
Oh, what was I thinking? You have one now. I want to vomit. There is a difference
Okay.
because I mean, money's not always everything, but
Mhm.
some of these more expensive brands, again, I'll plug Steve Saka. It's Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust is his brand. All of his cigars are like $15 and up for a single cigar.
Mhm.
But it's because the dude just knows so much about them and he cares so much about his product. He puts the time and effort into just craft it. And Roma Craft, the cigars we have out right now, is very similar to that.
Mhm.
Still at a reasonable price though.
Okay.
You know, it's sort of that like boutique brand.
Mhm.
Okay,
But-
so these are about $15 each?
No, these are actually cheaper. These are like
Okay.
maybe 10.
Okay.
Ten.
I don't
Okay.
remember what I paid exactly, but
Right.
Mhm.
but and that's not to say some of like the more Walmart brands, if you
Mhm.
will, aren't good. Like I love Rocky Patel's, I love Macanudos,
Mhm.
you know, sort of those
Oh yeah, Macanudos.
they're beginner-ish cigars, but
nuts.
I know people that have been smoking for 40 years and still love them.
Mhm.
You know what I
Okay.
mean? My very first cigar I ever smoked was a Macanudo White.
Yeah.
And it just always has a special place in my heart.
Yeah.
You know? You remember like what was your first bourbon you ever had? Like you remember like
Woodford.
was it? Yeah.
Yep.
And there's something
Mine
about
was
it.
Jameson.
Jameson.
Well, that's not
That's-
bourbon.
yeah. That's your first. Oh, yours was
my
Old
first-
Granddad.
Mine, yeah, was Old Granddad, and
Oh.
of course, Old Number 7.
Yeah. Oh, Jack
Oh,
Daniels.
Yeah,
is-
Jack Daniels.
I can get behind the Old Granddad. The Old Number 7. I cannot.
No.
I cannot. But
Granddad's on my bar right now. It
Yeah.
was a gift.
yeah,
So,
I'll tell you what. That's another one, kind of like Wild Turkey, that I did not have the respect for until you start really getting into what they're
Mhm.
putting out. Like
Yeah.
the Old Granddad 114 is
Very
Really?
a
good.
hitter. Yeah.
when I
it's
first
good.
tasted Old Granddad, I thought it was like crazy, like bitey.
Mhm.
And the more I've had it, the more I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, this isn't so bad.
Mhm.
Well, and see
Yeah.
that one, that is a bourbon that's a high rye bourbon, so
Oh,
you
yeah.
do get a
Okay.
little more of that spice in it
Yeah.
than you
okay.
might get out of something like an Old Forester or a Russell's, where
Mhm.
they're not a high rye. But,
Right. Okay. Yeah.
that's and there's a place for that profile. I prefer sweeter, and that high rye doesn't always sit with me. But we tried a high rye bourbon today.
It was so
It was
good.
out of this. We'll
Yeah.
just pull it out. This one right here. I think I've talked about this one too. The Hewling Station single barrel
So good.
is ridiculous. It is 52% corn, 44% rye. So that's a super high rye. And it's
Okay.
like they have their own like mash bill from MGP. So
It's
they
really
source
good.
this,
but it's a
like-
bourbon.
it's a
Mhm.
bourbon.
So where
yeah.
does it? What's the difference between a bourbon and a rye whiskey? Like,
So-
how do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So a bourbon is going to be made with at
Corn.
least 50%, well, 51% corn.
Okay.
And then the secondary grain can be rye
Oh, okay.
or wheat. And if it's wheated, then it's a wheated bourbon. And there's some bourbons like Penelope that's a 4-grain bourbon, and they use corn, rye, wheat, and malted barley. But then the
Sure,
third
okay.
grain, the there's a little bit of malted barley usually in a bourbon.
Right.
Rye is 51% or more rye.
Oh yeah, that makes
in
sense.
the
then.
mash
Okay.
bill. So, and I mean, a lot of them are much higher than that.
Sure, yeah.
95.5 in some cases. So,
We've only really dipped our toe into the rye.
Yeah, we
'cause
don't-
Yeah.
rye is,
It's not.
but see, if rye went
It depends.
in this direction, I'd be way more into
Yeah,
rye
I
than
know.
we are.
Well,
Yeah.
that's like
This-
exceptional.
this is
yeah.
it's an exceptional
I've
bottle.
had some really good ryes. Like I know, Brian. I don't think you're crazy about Basil Hayden, if I remember
No.
correctly.
Not
But I really liked their dark rye.
the dark
And, like, it's
rye.
really good.
I had it at Downtown Brew.
Yeah, that's where I have it too.
and,
yeah.
and I did not. I told Janet, I was like, this is the first Basil Hayden's that I wasn't like, this is terrible.
Right.
It was drinkable. It
Right.
was decent. Yeah.
I
Okay.
enjoy it. Yeah.
Notice it's nowhere back here.
No,
So
there's no
I think
Basil
I've
Hayden's
only
back
had it
here.
once at my
No.
friend's house.
Yeah.
I do often find that I gravitate more towards the bourbons. I mean,
Mhm.
I have a bottle of rye It's from Hartman's, but I haven't
Yeah.
even cracked it yet.
Is
Um,
that the
It's the barrel proof one, and I got that with when I did the tasting event for the pre-release party for again these cigars.
Mhm.
They paired it with the rye whiskey, so I bought a bottle of that.
yeah?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Okay,
cool.
so they paired
Yeah.
this with a rye. All right, so tell us about
Yeah,
these.
tell us about the
Yeah.
cigars we're giving
Yeah.
away.
And actually, I think it was this one. It was the other cigar that I'm gonna give away one of these. I don't know, get to that
Okay.
in a minute, but
Real quick before Dan gets into this, so we're giving away the bottle of Russell single barrel. We're giving away some cigars tonight with that. You have to put DLB in the chat, and the producer will put you on the wheel. Instagram folks, Dan's Instagram folks, they commented
Yep.
on your
Yes.
video
So they're
yesterday,
already
so
in.
you're already on there.
yep, they're already in.
And so we'll spin the wheel maybe in about 15-20 minutes or so.
Yeah.
So we'll give people time to get on the wheel. DLB in the chat. Go. All right, go ahead.
All right, cool. So okay, let me jump into this here, and I'm gonna start by plugging one of the best guys in this industry that's helped me. So these cigars are from Roma Craft. They are the Intemperance cigars.
Mhm.
Now, Roma Craft is an amazing company. They have a wonderful product, and the reason that I found these is my buddy Tommy up at Nickel City Cigars. This guy knows everything about cigars. He is awesome. He's helped me out so much with just sort of like but directing me towards some of the better brands. And he's all about boutique brands. And really, I noticed such a difference when I started having the ones that he was carrying in his place, right?
Mhm.
So this Roma Craft brand, I really jumped on board with them pretty quickly. And you're seeing now more people are kind of getting on board with the sort of boutique side of things. Tall Chief Cigars up in Irving is another place. I love them up there. Carl is my dude up there. He's awesome. They're starting to carry Roma Craft now. So like the industry is kind of coming around to this idea of, doing some of these more boutique brands, right?
Mhm.
So the reason I went with this one for the giveaway is because, disclaimer, we were supposed to smoke these, but we were a little bit concerned about weather. So we said, let's just maybe not
Yeah.
try to do a live stream and then get poured on. Right?
Yeah.
So we were going to like sort of talk about them and pair it with this, but I picked them because I think it would pair nicely with a bourbon.
Mhm.
And with not ever trying Russell's, they had never tried the cigars. That would, that's kind of where our heads were at.
Mhm.
But
We're gonna do it eventually.
we'll do it
Yeah.
eventually, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I would love to do that. It's just tonight wasn't the night to
Yeah.
have to like shut everything down.
Yeah,
and
we don't
run
want that.
everything back in the house.
Blame me. I wouldn't
Ah!
let
And my wife won't let
Yeah.
us smoke in the
I
house.
wouldn't smoke in my own house.
I
so-
don't want to smoke in my house either.
No.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I had a feeling that these were gonna go well, and I'm like, now that I'm having this bourbon, yes, they go wonderfully. So
excellent.
to just sort of like read a little bit of the profile about it. So this is a medium to mild cigar.
Okay.
So you're not getting that really heavy smokiness out of it.
All right.
I'm
Your
glad
mouth's
you
not gonna
weren't gonna
taste like an
kill us.
ashtray.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done that to you. And some of the notes you're getting out of it, like it does kind of go more on the sweet side.
Mhm.
So the notes they have listed, and I kind of agree with it. You start with like the creaminess.
Mhm.
It has that cedar
Okay.
taste to it, which a lot of cigars have that cederness to
Mhm.
it. That's why they age. That's why the humidors are a lot of times made out of the cedar.
Okay.
So you kind of go into that cedar, and then we've got granola, honey, and nuts in there. So the honey, I definitely, when I read that, I was like, no, I totally picked that out.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
sweetness.
It's got the sweetness, it's got the nuttiness, it's got a little bit of the earthiness, but it's not going to be crazy dark.
Yeah.
And for a bourbon like this that doesn't have a crazy amount of bite, it's got a little bit of bite, but
Right.
not like in your face. I think it would pair wonderfully together.
Nice.
So we did a good job, guys.
Yeah.
We
Nice.
picked
Nice
the
going.
cigars.
So basically,
Nailed it.
as
You're
Brian
really
said,
making me want to try this now, Maria, please.
just like well, that'll be the after hours stream.
Agree, Dave. Agree. That's one of Nancy Fraley's little projects there, that Outrider, and it is delicious. I love it.
So, Brian already talked. So basically, we're giving away one of these bottles, 3 of these.
Okay.
The other 3 were going to be for us, but
Yeah.
yeah, laid them out. But then I'm also going to throw in a bonus cigar because I'm nice.
All right.
Good
And
you.
that one it's also Roma Craft. This is the Intemperance Senator Volstead. I had this one a while back at the pre-release party.
Volstead.
And if I remember correctly, has something to do with Prohibition.
The Volstead Act is the Prohibition
That's
Act.
okay. That's what I
Yeah.
thought. So this cigar has some history to it in
Yeah.
the name.
Cool.
And it's a little bit darker than this one.
I
I'm pretty
noticed that,
Yeah, you can see right away.
Yeah, the
it's
wrapper
dark.
is a different wrapper.
So now is that the darkness because of the variety of the wrapper, or is it because of some sort of aging or something, or like why does it get
Yeah.
a darker
The-
wrapper?
it's actually a different wrapper. So you'll
Okay.
hear a lot of times like you'll hear Connecticut, you'll hear Maduro. That's a style of wrapper. So
Okay.
Connecticut is a light wrapper.
Okay.
I think this is Connecticut.
Okay, so
Okay.
it
I think
doesn't
this is
matter.
Maduro.
The color of the outside?
Is it going to get
Like
a
the
different
leaf?
flavor?
No, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, more often than not, you find the darker leaves give a heavier flavor.
Okay. Cool.
But there's exceptions to that. I
Yeah.
mean, there's something called sweet caps too, which
Okay.
they literally sweeten the cap.
Mhm.
Oh.
So when I
okay.
said that it's just tobacco, I guess smoke it.
Sometimes they'll.
but
yeah.
they'll
Yeah, it's like they spray or something the outside of it.
I don't really get
'cause
how
I
it
feel
works,
like I've
but
tasted. Yeah.
so you'll have a heavy cigar, but has
Mhm.
sweetness to it.
Yeah.
So it's
Interesting.
You know what I mean? And then they make infused cigars and stuff, but that's its own category. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I don't really mess around with like flavored cigars.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Some people love them, but it's not my thing.
Okay.
I like the natural flavors. So, anyways, you're getting 3 of these and the bonus Senator Volstead, which
Nice.
is a pre-release cigar. It's a new cigar from Aroma Craft. And
Awesome.
honestly, guys, whether you're on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, if you are into cigars, check out Aroma Craft.
Yeah.
And check out the places that I mentioned.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If you're down here, Tall Chief's close by. If you're up in Buffalo or you want to take a drive, hit up Nickel City. Tommy's awesome.
Yeah.
And Carl up at Tall Chief is awesome. I mean,
Where's
these are
Nickel
great
City?
guys.
Is that in Buffalo?
It's right
Yeah,
downtown.
it's on
Okay.
Franklin. Actually, it's right in front of the Chop House.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We saw a comedian there. We saw Chrissy
Yeah.
Mayer there. That's where we went and saw Chrissy Mayer. It was a lot of
Right,
fun.
there's a picture with him.
I have a picture,
Mm.
not with Tommy, with Chrissy Mayer.
with
Yeah.
Chrissy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So-
I know.
Cool. All right. So you're gonna put, if you haven't already, you're gonna put DLB in the chat.
I'm
That's
caught up. I have everybody
That's
there.
Dan, Lauren, Brian. So go ahead and type that in the chat, and the producer is going to put you on the wheel. And like we said, Instagram folks, you are on the wheel already.
You're on
We
the
did
wheel.
that before the stream, so we got you all set up there beforehand. So
We have exactly 40 in the wheel.
we have
All right.
exactly
Okay.
40
We're doing
in the
good.
wheel.
Very good.
All
All
right.
right.
We
People
got
want this stuff.
24 people watching. Hit that like button, guys. And thank you for this. The producer put out suggestions for Rise for us.
Oh, how nice.
Now we have a whole
Oh.
list of
Oh,
Rye.
that's
Okay.
awesome.
See how
Okay.
smart I'm always
You're
thinking?
gonna have to do a
She
rye
is.
live stream or
Yeah.
something,
Yeah,
or a
well,
tasting. That'd be fun.
Actually, Laura and Troy
Yeah.
sent us a bunch.
Right. We have that's on our to do.
Yeah, it's Laura and Troy, we've been trying. So they have a channel called Baker Drinks, Laura and
Okay.
Troy. They're
Okay.
out in I believe Oregon. And they sent us
I'm
a
good.
bunch. I'm gonna have some of this. They sent us a bunch of ryes, because when we did a video, remember our first rye, and it
Mhm.
was the Redwood Empire.
Yeah.
And so after that, Laura sent us probably a box of about 7 or 8 samples of rye.
Mhm.
And it's been sitting over behind the bar for probably 2 or 3 months now, and we just haven't gotten it together to be able to live stream. So I am hoping, Laura and Troy, that our next live stream is with you guys, and you can walk us
There
through
you
these ryes, and we'll do a little
Mhm.
flight. So
Yeah, I feel like there's a whole community for the rye.
yeah,
Rye
oh
stuff,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
and you can feel rye is starting to be
Yeah.
like, I feel like rye and scotch are kind of the
They're
next
on the up
ones
and
that
coming.
are
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
hit.
Really?
But that'd be good for us, not for viewership, because then nobody will care about bourbon, but it'll be good for us because then we'll be able to find stuff. you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah,
like,
no,
'cause-
And
you're
you'll
right.
expand your knowledge.
yeah, right,
Mhm.
You know what I
right.
mean?
So, but all right. So my next pour, do you guys want fresh glasses?
Come on.
I'm not
Oh,
bougie.
no,
Guys
yeah.
being dudes, we
Mhm.
we are not bougie.
Okay.
Although sometimes I am.
I
If you
think
see my
that's what gives
pictures.
you all the darn riches.
So this one is an actual cigar blend bourbon, and a lot of cigar blends are finished, cognac, sherry casks, things like that. And this is Jepson's Bourbon, and they are a bourbon company in Chicago. They are most famous for making the liqueur Malort, which I have never had, but
Never even
it
heard of it.
sounds like it's terrible.
Yeah, me neither. That's a bad
No
name.
lord.
Okay.
Sounds like my lord. Like,
So
you know what I mean? Like, guess for you, my lord.
like Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah. No spoilers. I'm only halfway through
Mhm.
that show.
Get out of
Um,
here.
Yeah, I haven't finished it yet.
So this is from,
How
you've heard
could
me
you?
mention Storytime a couple of times in the stream tonight, and Storytime is Storytime Distilling. They have a site online. That's
It's
Fred.
majestic.
I don't know
Yeah.
the story behind it, but
Like,
that's
why is
Fred.
one behind the other?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Looks like a ghost behind him.
They're looking at the tater sticker, and I don't know the story behind these guys, but they're like a group. I believe they're a group that like kind of meets, and they're like a bourbon club, and they named this for these guys.
Mhm.
So Storytime is a cool cool company. They are a non-distilling producer. So and Shane is, I don't know if he's still in the chat or not, but Shane and I believe his partners will go and find barrels, single barrels,
Hmm.
and then you like join this club, and being in the club gives you access to these barrels. So it's kind of like a pick club, like you'd
Mhm.
have, like if you had a local pick club or something. And I will tell you, I've gotten 3 bottles from them, and every single one is
When I keep
fantastic.
trying to try them, and you're like, "No, we're doing that. We're not doing that right now."
That
You
can
don't want to touch it. You got yelled at already for
I
putting it
know.
back in the wrong spot.
so yeah.
Surprised
He
you
does.
did that.
He did tell. Yeah,
I
he's like,
didn't.
"No, yeah, that's the one I wanted to
Oh.
try today."
Oh, I'll send you home with some.
No. I mean, like for a video.
Oh,
we're
because I wanted to
waiting.
wait
Yeah,
until we
yeah,
did story
yes,
time.
yeah.
Yeah. This one is this is a pick from those bourbon guys. They are somehow involved in story time as well. And this is from Conviction. And so they find like these little distilleries. Sometimes they're in North Carolina. And this is a lot like that Hewling station. Like it's
Really?
got that clove kind of, it's got a
Mm.
nice flavor profile. But so this cigar batch, I have heard other channels say that this rivals a Joseph Magnus cigar blend, which is kind of, when you talk about cigar blend bourbons, that's like kind of the most sought after
Ah, okay.
one. And it's a pretty,
Is it?
That's the Stradivarius.
yeah. And
Joseph Magnus.
Joseph Magnus cigar blend. Our friend
Okay.
Nancy Fraley is the blender of Joseph Magnus
Wow.
cigar blend. So that's why it was cool
Okay.
talking to her and stuff. It's like, oh God, it's
Yeah.
like the inventor of Joseph Magnus
Mhm.
cigar blend. But so this one is called Friday at Fred's. I don't know if he has any more left. Last I looked, they had like 6 bottles left. So it was a very popular one, but this is cognac finish, 120.52 proof. So it's a little hot, but it's nice. So I'm gonna pour this and
That
you can
picture
tell
just
me.
on the back just kills me.
I know. If I saw that on a shelf,
Yeah.
I'd be like, is
Every
that a
Every time
gag?
You say Carly Jepsen, I think of like, what was that girl's name
Well,
that's saying?
Wait, I'm not saying
Mhm.
Carly Jepsen. You're saying Carly Rae
A
Jepsen.
little bit for me.
Call me maybe.
Yes.
But this
Wow,
is just
right.
Jepsen's.
Does it say Carly Jepsen on the
No, it says Jepsen's bourbon. Carly
Carly
Jepsen.
Rae Jepsen.
Carly Rae Jepsen. That's
I just lost the
Yeah, we
cap.
lost the cap. You're gonna have to get it. This is your fault.
Carly Jepsen
the
is the
producer
singer.
has the producer been downing
Yeah,
bourbon
she's
behind the
been-
scenes?
yes,
I
she
think.
has.
Oh boy.
That bottle was not empty before.
Listen, you better keep track of that wheel.
I'm done. The wheel is fine. It
She
doesn't
put her own
matter.
name on there.
Yeah, highlight Shred's comment. I am with you, Shred. I have heard so many people say
Okay.
how terrible that is. And I know Whiskey Row, like there's this channel Whiskey Row, and it's a husband and wife in Virginia, and like they'll do a live stream, and it's like, if we get to this many likes, David will drink some Malort, and he's always like, oh no. I would love to try
Ooh.
it to see how bad it is.
That has a lot less bite to me than the other one did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Am I wrong?
I'm
Like-
not getting the cognac though.
So
You guys getting it?
that extra,
I think
see,
so.
to me, that cognac that extra burn you're getting, like, is the cognac finish. I think, like
Really?
Okay.
it's like a liquor, like a liqueur kind of burn.
Mm,
It's got a little bit of sweetness in it. Like
it's delicious.
Yeah,
you
I'm
feel it back
getting-
here.
I don't know. Like I don't feel a burn.
See,
Like, I
I
don't
get
know.
a nice burn right back here when it goes
Mm.
down.
I feel like when I had the Russells, it was like
and I like it a lot. This is I think now. What's your opinion on this, as far as with a cigar?
so. Let me take another sip.
I'll put it back up. here.
it's Carly Rae Jepsen. again.
Carly Rae Jepsen.
It says Carl Jepsen right on the front there.
Carl.
Carl Jepsen, not
Right.
Carly
Which
Rae.
reminded me of
Well, that is
Carly Rae.
close. That is close.
Yeah, it's close, but
Now I have that song stuck in my head.
don't.
Welcome.
I just
I
met
can't
you. This is
believe
amazing.
you
No,
did that to
don't do
me.
it, man. Don't. do it.
So I don't I don't like get that strong like bite. I think
Mhm.
like now maybe I'm getting a little on my tongue or something almost.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, maybe that's that
I'm getting it.
cognac-y. I guess I don't know cognac enough to know how to pick it out.
Yeah, I think that extra burn is the cognac finish.
But it's
like,
this is
and I get it
a
back here.
lot smoother
Yeah.
than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
When you put the word cigar in there, I think like I just
Yeah.
assumed it was
Yeah.
going to have a little bit of gruffness to it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
but it's really smooth. Now this I feel like I would actually pair with a little bit of a darker cigar.
Like a stronger one.
Yeah,
More
like this
flavor.
one, like I mentioned earlier, that Sin Compromiso cigar. I think that would go great with this.
Yeah, I think this is definitely more flavorful. It's got stronger flavors than this.
Yeah.
And that's not to say this is bad, but this has some real
yeah,
bite to it. Yeah. So I think if you would want a stronger bourbon or a more flavorful bourbon with a more flavorful
Yeah.
cigar, that
Yeah.
would be it.
this actually might go good with this
Mhm.
the Senator Volstad cigar too, because this one's a little bit darker than the Intemperance.
Okay, I have a question about puffing. Now, is it okay to just puff, or do you have to inhale to get the full flavor?
No, you do not inhale. That is okay. Let me backtrack and I'll answer that question.
Okay.
Well, I just did, I guess, but
I
I don't know. So there's this whole thing with like cigars. There's like a whole like societal thing where it's like the shoulds and shouldn'ts of cigar smoking.
Yeah, I'm interested.
and
I want to know.
there
Should
are
I not
things,
do?
there are do's and don'ts for sure. You know what I mean? But I think there was for a long time, I think cigars were sort of they were looked at as like an elitist
Yeah.
thing. And if you're not doing it right, then you shouldn't do it. And that's just not correct. And 9 times out of 10, the people that I've encountered that like cigars, that's not true at all. Like they
Mhm.
just want to enjoy cigars with good company. So all this stuff about, oh, you shouldn't do this, you should do that. Like nobody's gonna call you out on stuff.
Mhm,
Like they just want to enjoy a cigar with good people.
mhm.
So like there's a lot of things about cigars. Like I see a lot with like cutting cigars.
Mhm.
You
I
know,
like to see how much we can get on it before I dump
How much
it in
you
the
do what?
ashtray. The
Oh,
ash.
Well,
you
that.
like to like throw your ash?
Yeah.
and that's fun to do.
That's so fun.
But like you see, like I'm not gonna actually cut it, but you know, you can kind of see. Like
Mhm.
you see sometimes people will like stick it in and like try to cut it off. You really the cap, it's like a circumcision, really.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
just the cap. Like
Okay.
you can kind of see it. It's like a little piece of tobacco.
You don't
leaf.
really need to cut that far.
No,
in.
you literally got like just barely
just the
put it
tip,
in.
Just
Now
the tip,
just the
yeah.
tip. Yeah. And then there's cigars like there's cutters like this, which like you can only get it so far in. And
We're
then
getting demonetized.
well,
My God.
not
We're
supposed to
talking
talk
about
about cigars. That's right.
Just
So
once.
Just once.
just tip just once, just see how it feels. So anyways, this is the after hours.
Yeah, this is
So-
bourbon school.
So
after
things like
dark.
that, like you know, there are proper ways to do things like that, and proper ways to do other things like do not inhale. Now, if anybody tells you to inhale a cigar, do not be friends with that person because you are not supposed to inhale
I
cigar.
mean, I've never
Like you're
inhaled
not
a
supposed
cigar,
to like
but yeah.
people with
People
cigarettes,
inhale
they will
cigarettes.
inhale into
Yeah.
the
Cigarettes
lungs.
you inhale, marijuana you inhale. Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
you don't inhale cigars. You puff it into your mouth and you blow it back out. They're meant
'Cause
to be
you're-
enjoyed,
It's about
The-
getting the
it's
flavor.
taste.
Yes.
Yes. Not
and you still get a buzz from them.
buzz.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there are some strong cigars
Mhm.
out there that I get
Sure.
a hell of
You
a
get a
buzz,
buzz.
from. You know, like anything, the more you do it, the more your tolerance goes up.
Mhm.
But you know, yeah, don't inhale cigar smoke. It's a horrible idea. Anybody
Yeah.
that does that doesn't
Like,
know what
yeah,
they're doing.
What are they doing? Why are they doing that?
I
They're
don't
just
know, and I don't know a
inexperienced?
lot of people that do that. But a lot of times,
They're
like
crazy.
cigarette smokers.
Well, just
do it.
inhale a
Yeah.
cigar. Yeah.
But then there's other things like you know,
You got it there. Right?
you sort of don't have to let the ash grow, but it's fun to.
It
Like,
is fun. It's really
some,
fun.
some people ash it every like 10 minutes or
Mhm.
something. I like to let them go as long as they'll hold on. I mean,
Yeah.
the last thing you want is for it to fall all over your clothes. I hate that.
Yeah.
But like it's nice when it just kind of burns down nicely and it's a nice rounded
Mhm. Okay.
burn. You know what I mean?
Tell me about when. Okay, so let's say you smoked half of the cigar.
Yeah.
How are you preserving it now after you cut? Like, how
Can
far
you-
are you cutting?
Yeah. Can you like
Yeah.
cut it off and
Yeah.
smoke it again?
You can.
Yes.
So I do this often. If I have like a particularly longer
Mhm.
length cigar, like
I
there's
can't. I'm sorry.
we should have picked a different item.
You stop. You stop.
Oh my god. If you have like a longer cigar that's like a Churchill length,
Mhm.
it's probably
Those are
out,
so
out to
heavy
here. Yeah.
duty.
Sometimes you we'll be right back after these messages.
How do you even get it?
Oh my god.
god.
It's a Sunday. It's a school
Oh my God,
night.
it's a Sunday night.
It's a
for
school
Ian.
night.
Think of the children.
You better hope they're not on here. So anyway.
Oh.
If it's a longer cigar, there's times that I don't want to sit for an hour and a half. and
No,
smoke a
it
whole
takes
cigar.
forever.
So honestly, what I've done in the past, and it works for me, you smoke as much as you want,
Mhm.
and then you just put it down and leave it, and don't do anything else.
You don't cut it. You don't store it. What do you? You're not doing
If-
anything.
If
with it.
you
If you're gonna come back,
If you're
to it
gonna
the
come
next
back to
day,
it the next day, you don't have to do
Mhm.
anything.
Okay.
You don't have to cut it off. I mean, if it burned really jagged or something,
Mhm.
and like sometimes the middle will burn, but then the leaf does, the outside
Mhm.
leaf doesn't,
Yeah.
and they get a little screwed
Yeah.
up. So those are the times you want to do some maintenance on it.
Okay.
Okay.
But if it burned nicely and it just kind of went out, you just
Yeah.
light it and pick up where you left off.
Cool.
Do you put it out and like save it for the next time you want to use it? Like, or do you have to smoke a whole cigar? And move
No.
on?
No, you don't
No,
have
that's
to.
what he's
That's
no,
saying.
yeah,
no.
you don't.
There's
Yeah.
been several times that I haven't, and I've just kind of.
Well, yeah. I mean, it does take a long time to smoke a
Yeah.
cigar.
Like once you light it, it's a commitment.
it's a commitment. Yeah.
And there's some cigars that burn faster than others too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, they can get plugged,
Like my Swisher Sweets.
like your Swiss Cheese, which I don't know how you do it, but you do it. they're sometimes they get like plugged, where
Yeah.
like no smoke will come out.
Right. You can't get
You know
air
what I mean?
through it.
Mhm.
And there's tools that you have to like take a poker and kind of like
Oh,
move around.
jeez.
But that doesn't happen very often. If you take good care of your stuff and you
Mhm.
take good care of your cigars, that's
Cool.
kind of like jumping back into my guys being dudes thing. That's
Yeah.
kind of the whole purpose of my brand. It's about taking care of your
Mhm.
things and
Yeah.
yourself. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh yeah.
Take good care of the
Mhm.
cigars you buy. Take good care of the bottles of bourbon.
What
Yeah.
about your beard wax?
I use beard wax. I use Beard Brand products. Have you ever heard of Beard Brand? I don't know if you have.
Beer, like
Beard.
beer
Beard
brand.
brand.
No.
They are an amazing company.
I tweeze my
that-
beard out, so I can't. It's
Well,
not visible.
maybe I should try
right
that. Beard Brand is an amazing company, and they make like natural products. And what I actually right now is called a utility balm.
now. Mhm.
It's like I can't with these two.
Yeah.
The husband and wife are the ones that are acting immature.
They're so bad tonight.
Although if your husband was here, and my
Get
wife
a
was here,
grip.
would we
yeah.
be?
Oh
would we
no,
be
we'd be
equal,
totally
I
off. But
guess.
yeah.
We're
So-
talking to each other
Yeah.
with our eyes.
I don't want to know about it.
Oh my gosh, what were we saying?
Okay, beard balm.
Beard Brand.
Beer brand.
Beard
So Beard Brand is a company that makes all natural products.
Mhm.
Now it's not just beard care; They
Mhm.
make sea salt sprays and they
Mhm.
make utility oils, things like
Okay.
that. I have one called Utility Balm, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like your one-stop shop. In fact, if anybody from YouTube wants to check out my Instagram, if
Mhm.
you scroll back a while, I did a whole like tutorial on how to use
Okay.
it.
I actually really think that it makes a big difference
It does.
because my husband once grew his beard out to be this long, and I said, "Get away from me with that."
Yeah.
It was crazy.
But it can
looking.
be long, and if it's groomed properly,
wasn't,
it does.
though.
That's the thing. That's the thing. I am very particular with my beard. Like,
Mhm.
there's been times
There's
that I've
a-
really let it grow,
like a
and I
nice-
blend it in, and
Yeah,
I.
you trim it.
Yeah, Brian's
there-
got a great goatee. You got a
there-
great
yeah.
goatee.
He keeps it tight.
Yeah,
Good.
that's nice.
You got a great
Brian.
goatee.
Yeah.
I would like it a little longer so I can stroke it. while
Mine's
I'm
only
making
gonna
my
be here-
Evil plans, but no.
Mine's only going to be here for a little bit longer because when Halloween hits, I'm going as Ted Lasso. So that
Oh,
fun! I love
yes.
that.
mustache,
Love it.
mustache.
I do have a legitimate question.
Yes.
About the beard?
It's about bourbon and
Okay.
it's about cigars. So in thinking about pairing these things, I'm thinking about how you pair, like sometimes you pair bourbon with food and it will change the flavor of the food. So would bourbon change the flavor of a cigar, or would a cigar change the flavor of a bourbon?
That's a great question.
I have them sometimes.
And it doesn't
If
change.
we
the
were able to
flavor.
smoke
I
it,
know.
Well,
sorry.
we would know.
She's not. Let's just.
she'll kill us.
It doesn't necessarily change the flavor, but it brings out specific
Yeah.
notes in
Mhm.
those flavors that are already there. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
if
like
there's
a
a
food.
nuttiness in a bourbon,
Mhm.
but maybe you're not getting it a whole bunch, and you're having a cigar that's got nuttiness, maybe it'll bring it out more. Sort
Okay.
of thing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
I thought that was a really good question.
Mhm.
Okay.
that was a good question.
All
All
right.
right, good.
Do you guys think we should give away some
I
bourbon
think
and
so.
cigars?
Yeah, let's.
I
do
think
it.
that's a great
Let's do
idea.
Do
it.
you want to give people one more chance?
Okay, yes. Let's do
a good
one
idea.
more
2
chance.
seconds.
2
You have 2
seconds.
You've got like 1 minute before we spin the wheel. So if you have not entered yet, you're going to put DLB in the chat and we'll put you on the wheel. Like we said Instagram, you guys are on the wheel already. So once we get all our final entrants in here, we will spin the wheel of
They have
names.
1 minute.
You have 1 minute. So
How
we're
many
gonna-
people do we have
On
in there?
Instagram, we're just chilling.
It's still 40. Okay.
Okay.
40 solid, and I have everybody who has entered.
Okay, did you get Braun and Burley? Braun and Burley.
Oh, there it is right now.
Okay.
It just popped up. Yep.
So we got you. Anybody else? Last call to get on the wheel. So we have 41 names on the
And
wheel.
I'll share my screen.
And again, this is YouTube and my
Yes.
Instagram. So
Yes.
everybody's all on one. here.
Everybody's
So
in.
we're cross-platform, baby.
Yes.
Okay, so we're doing 5.
4 cigars.
Three of
total.
these because these were going to be ours. Three
Yeah.
of these and one of these. So it's 4 total.
4
Plus
cigars
this.
and a
Yeah.
bottle of Russell single barrel that we have determined will be perfectly matched
Mhm.
in our expert opinions.
It will be.
All
I
right.
pr- you could
It will be.
have any
Shall I
bourbon,
share
you
it?
know.
Sure.
Okay.
All right.
Here we go.
so
Okay.
Okay.
She's gonna share the wheel. Instagram. Sorry, we can't share it to Instagram, but
We'll tell you.
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll let you
We'll
know.
tell you,
for
Instagram.
Sure. All right. Is it up there?
You should be able. I'm sharing my screen.
Hold on.
Oh, okay. Wheel of Names. Just give me one moment.
I know. I'll let you know when it's up on here, so then we can.
Are you gonna
spin.
do a Instagram as Ted
It
Lasso?
should be up there.
I
but
should.
Should. I was
be able to
thinking-
see the win-
I can even
It's
do
a
the
little bit
accent.
delayed,
I
so
should do
just
the, I should
hold
do the
on.
Ted
I'll
Lasso
let you
accent
know
and
when it
everything. My
actually
wife's gonna be
shows up
Keely.
here.
We were originally
Oh,
thinking Coach Beard, but wearing a fake beard might be a
Coach
lot.
Beard.
I
That's
love a
awesome.
good couple's costume.
Yeah, that's
We
a
we
good
like to do couples costumes. We did
Right,
Amazing
yeah,
Race
that's awesome.
contestants one year, and that was pretty awesome.
Okay.
Is
All
it up
right.
there now, babe?
It is up there.
Okay.
There is the
All
wheel
right,
of
here's the wheel.
names.
Okay.
So
Alright.
let's go
Let's
ahead.
see it.
Let's just give people a minute. Take a look. Make sure you see your name on there.
Oh
If you
my
don't
God.
see your name
Brian,
on
it's
there,
on there.
Ryan, it's on there. What the
okay, I'm
heck?
just making sure. What the hell? What the hell? I'm just making sure. Okay, you got to know. You got to shuffle
People
it.
can't even see.
Oh yeah, you got to shuffle it.
You got to shuffle it like
Excuse
3
me,
times.
shuffle
3
one,
shuffles.
Shuffle 2, shuffle 3.
There we go.
Okay. And would you like me to spin?
Yeah, do it.
Go for it.
Click
Here
it.
we go.
It's got everything.
Cigars
Oh,
and
the-
bourbon.
Cigars
it's
bourbon are all in one.
Oh,
Yeah,
not
it's
only
one
separate.
winner. It's one winner. McIntyre first. Max. All right.
The Instagram follow.
Mike
Yay,
McIntyre.
Mike McIntyre.
If you
You
don't,
are our winner.
He better subscribe to Bourbon School.
He
Yeah.
I'll make sure he does.
Yeah, Mike. Go
And Mike,
subscribe to
Mike
Bourbon
is
School.
Scottish, so he's a big Scotch guy.
Oh,
So
okay.
we'll
Well,
get him turned on to bourbon.
nope.
I'm not even gonna try it.
There's lots of Scotch channels over here on Whiskey Tube as well. Actually, one of our mods, Sugar Kitty, is an amazing, valuable expert
Yeah.
on Scotch. So yeah, definitely, we'd love to have you over here subscribing to Bourbon School. Congratulations, Mike.
Wow, yeah, Mike,
Awesome.
that's awesome. I
Is he
love Mike.
local?
He's a local guy. He's
Nice.
a big musician.
Awesome.
Been playing music for forever. Nicest
Awesome.
guy in the world.
Awesome.
He makes the funniest Facebook posts too. He
Right
just
on.
he's all about like every single day is like a different like meme or humor. It's all positivity from
Right
this
on.
guy. He's amazing.
Cool.
Oh, great.
All right. Awesome. Well, guys, we are so happy that y'all
Yeah, this is really
tuned
fun.
in.
Mhm.
We had a great time. It's a little different. Like but I know, Lauren, you've been dying to do cigars. Unfortunately,
We're halfway there. We've
unfortunately-
got him out now.
Yeah.
Now we'll have one.
I'm
down the
gonna
road.
bring my own next time too, because I have a couple I want to
Oh,
talk about.
Can you
Yeah.
get you guys
Yeah,
at
I
the
like
gas
that.
station?
I love
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
Not the gas station.
Yeah, if you bring Swisher Sweets, I'm leaving. But I'm leaving for that. But
Thank
I
you.
will bring the Swisher Street.
Thank you guys all so much. It's not the skunk and squirrel.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
What's it
okay.
called?
We'll get there.
Yeah,
Um, So make sure you follow
Kill me.
Dan over at Guys Being Dudes 716. Are you on any of the other social medias?
I'm just Instagram, Facebook.
Okay,
Yep,
cool.
Instagram,
Cool.
Facebook for me.
Guys Being Dudes 716. Make sure Instagram folks subscribe to Bourbon School
Yep,
on
these guys are
YouTube.
a hoot.
We also have a TikTok and an Instagram that we are semi-dedicated
I
to.
will get. Are
My
you
wife
doing-
does the
yeah.
TikTok. Yeah.
Jesus,
Yeah.
I do everything.
We also have a Facebook community that you can go join, and we're there. And Dan, you're there, right? You're in Facebook.
I am on
Bourbon
the
School
Facebook
community.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
So we've got people
I
there
love Facebook.
from other YouTube channels and lots of our viewers. So check that out as well. Come join us there. And don't forget, Lauren and I are going to be hosting a bourbon dinner at the Skunk and Goat Tavern in Northeast Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
That's the town,
I'm
not
really
the region.
excited
Yeah,
about
this
that.
is super
Yeah.
exciting. It's going to be on
I think the tickets are on sale now, right?
no,
No,
he
they're
just-
advertising.
no,
I thought that's what he said.
no, so they're
He just texted us the other day.
yes, they're supposed to go on sale like next week. They're selling tickets for something else right now.
Well, I didn't
And
read
once
that right.
that's done, yeah.
Oh my god.
Once that's done, then they're going to put ours on sale. So hopefully in the next week or so, they'll go on sale. They're going to be extremely limited.
October 26th.
Yes.
Did you say
it's-
that
Yeah, I
already?
think 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
Yes, and
4-course meal.
4-course
Oh,
meal
dang.
With
paired with bourbon.
pairing, yeah.
Can I go?
Yes.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Yeah,
Gotta buy tickets,
Full
Dan.
disclaimer, I wasn't listening to the date. I tuned. Okay, got it. I
Yeah.
kind of tuned out. a
October
little bit.
26th, 6
My bad.
p.m.
Yeah.
So if you're in the region and that's something you'd like to go do, we'd love to see you
We'll be
guys
there.
there. Yeah, it'll be a blast. So and
Mhm.
it's a good meal. We saw the menu. It's a really good.
Yeah.
menu.
And Elliot will be
Yeah, and our spouses will both
So
be there as
exciting.
well. So that's very
Wow.
exciting for everybody. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Anything you want
Yeah.
to say?
No.
Okay.
God bless. God bless you all.
Dan, anything?
Yeah, let me just make a quick plug in.
Yes.
These cigars are Roma Craft, guys. If
Yes.
you like a good cigar, check out Roma Craft. And again, the people that helped me get my page off the ground, guys like Tommy at Nickel City Cigars has these cigars. Check him out. He is a wealth of knowledge. He's an awesome guy. Definitely a ball buster, but we like those kind of people.
Yeah, he is.
And then Tall Chief Cigars up in Irving. My buddy Carl's up there, another awesome guy. You know, these cigars are kind of the new thing in the industry right now, and we got to support that. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
Awesome.
yeah, I love it. So and follow Bourbon School.
Yes.
Go follow Bourbon School.
Thank you, YouTube. Thank you, Instagram. You guys are awesome. We appreciate you all and have a great night and a good week. Take care, everybody.
And go Bills.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I had to squeeze that in.